How are you today? I hope you're having a good morning so far and you've done some stretches and got dressed and washed your face and brushed your hair and brushed your teeth and had some yummy, yummy breakfast. And we'll start our class by saying good morning with our hearts. My heart to your heart, good morning. And to my friends who were all connected through the rainbow. I hope you're holding up your rainbow right now. Good morning. And we'll start with the day. So yesterday was Tuesday and tomorrow is Thursday. So does anybody know what day it is today? Did you say Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. And who remembers what month we're in? Did you say April? Yeah, it's the month of April. So today is Wednesday, April 15th. There, can you see? Wednesday, April 15th. So I hope you're knocking off your days, or maybe you're coloring them in as we go. And your calendar is getting pretty full now because we're on the 15th of the month. And today the weather here is cloudy, but there's a little bit of sun coming through, so I'm hopeful that it's not going to rain. And it didn't really rain last night. I do have my weather jar, and you can see it's pretty empty. There's nothing in there, but it was cold. So when I brought the jar in this morning, I could feel that it was cold, but it wasn't raining, so that's nice. But who knows what's going to happen today. There are big dark clouds, but also some sun. So who knows? I wonder if it's the same where you are. You'll have to go look, and maybe you've started your jar, and you can look at your jar, or you can just look at the window and draw it in your book, whatever you want to do. And what season are we in? Who remembers? We've talked about it quite a bit. Yeah, it's the season of spring. And I bet you're starting to see more and more signs of the earth coming back to life, and things are starting to grow, and especially with the rain we've had. I know there's been some snow as well, so I'm actually hoping that my clouds aren't snow clouds, but maybe things are going to start getting warmer soon with more sunny days, which would be so nice. All right, so this week we have talked about the frog quite a bit, but before we do frog, let's just do a little bit of French. Okay, so we'll start by saying aujourd'hui, ça va bien. Aujourd'hui, ça va mal. Aujourd'hui, ça va comme ci, comme ça. Aujourd'hui, ça va fantastique. Bravo, mes amis. And maybe let's sing the days of the week, because we didn't sing that this week yet. Okay, so we're going to sing dimanche, lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi. Dimanche, lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi. Il y a 7 jours, il y a 7 jours, il y a 7 jours dans la semaine. Il y a 7 jours, il y a 7 jours, il y a 7 jours dans la semaine. Bravo! I hope you sing with me. And I know you all know that song very, very well. So I can't wait to hear us all singing together again. Okay, so we're doing some French words this week, and then some of our words. So who remembers what this is called? Did you say? Oui, c'est la grenouille. La grenouille qui saute. He jumps. Okay, and this is, oui, la fleur. La fleur qui pousse. It's growing. So it's la fleur qui pousse. That's growing. And yesterday we looked inside this book and we saw the picture of, oui, le jardin. Ici, c'est le jardin. So here's the garden. Le jardin. And last week, do you guys remember what we called this? I've had to use it. Someone had to use it quite a bit this last week. Do you remember what we called this? Oui, le parapluie. That's right, our umbrella. So those are some words that we've been practicing. And I hope when you see these things, maybe if you see flowers or gardens or whatever you see, you can remember what the words are in French and you can say it in French. Awesome. All right, so we're going to look at the frog some more today, Mr. Frog, and we're going to look at the life cycle of the frog. So a lot of times in class we talk about how things, everything, every living thing has a life cycle. So they come into the world and they live their lives and then they leave. So it's sort of nice to look at different species and different animals and look at their life cycles and where they come from and how it all works. So we're going to look at the life cycle of the frog. And here I've kind of colored my pictures of the frog so we can talk about it and you can see. And I'll send this to you and you can print it out and color it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to glue it onto this circle page here so that the frog kind of shows you how it grows, okay? And if you don't have a printer, if you don't want to print it out, what also you could do is just draw the different parts of the frog, the different parts of the life cycle, and then you could cut them out and put them on your own circle, or you could just have the different parts of it and play with it, so that's fun too. Okay, so when the frog lays its eggs, these are what they look like. So they are translucent, which means they're see-through, and they're squishy. They're not like bird eggs. They don't have a hard shell, so they're just soft eggs. So that is the frog eggs, and usually almost like 100 tadpoles are born out of those eggs, so they hatch out of those eggs. And the other thing that's cool about them is that they lay them usually in water, so they kind of are like a jelly looking thing in the water, and sometimes you can see that in the spring. And the other word that we call the eggs is spawn. So frog eggs are called spawn. And then they hatch, and here down here is a picture of a tadpole. There. So the frog goes through huge transformation in its life cycle, and it first starts off as a tadpole which swims in the water, and the tadpole uses its powerful tail to push it through the water, and it swims and swims. And as it develops, it starts growing front legs and hind legs, powerful hind legs, and then also the frog grows lungs. So it goes from breathing underwater with gills, and now it starts breathing air with lungs. So that's a huge transformation, and the gills disappear and the tail starts to disappear. And this stage of the frog is called the froglet. So we have spawn, tadpole, froglet, okay? And then as the froglet grows, it turns into this frog up here, and that's the adult frog. And now the adult frog breathes air through its lungs, and it can still swim, but it also has these powerful hind legs now that let it hop big distances. Okay, so that is the life cycle of the frog, and I hope you have fun coloring it and putting it on your circle. And tomorrow we'll look at this little activity with it as well. And again, if you don't want to print it, that's fine. You can always just color it and draw it and do it that way. All right. Okay, so now we're going to do our sounds for today. So the sounds that we're looking at today are these two. So I'm going to hold this one up first, and you can tell me if you know it. What sound is that one? Okay, so maybe some of you said it's duh, 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 duh. So we're going to look at some things that belong with the sound duh. All right, so let me just see. I kind of mix them together. Oh, here, there. Okay, pretty not that mixed. Okay, so here we go. So the first object that we're going to look at that goes with duh is this here. What is that? I bet most of you have one of those at your home. It's a duh, duh, doll. Yeah, duh, doll. So she goes there underneath the duh. And then we have, oh, this is definitely something we see more of in the spring. We see a duh, duh, duck. Yeah, look at that duck. It's so beautiful with its green head. And then we have a duh, duh, drum. Boom, 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 boom. I'm playing on my drum. Duh, duh, drum. And then I have, I showed you this animal of mine on Friday. Who remembers what this is called? It's a dog. Yeah. So all of these things belong to the sound D. Okay. Now we're going to look at the other sound I grabbed for today, and that's the sound H. And when we say the sound H, we don't want to say it so hard because it's really a soft sound. So the thing that I teach my friends in class, and some of you have had this lesson, is when we say H, it's sort of like blowing something hot out, or and we can just feel our breath on our hand. So we're just going hot, hot. Awesome. So that's the H, and we'll look at some things. Ooh, first thing here, I love honey. Honey. Okay. Oh, and what's this? We all have one of these. It's a, yeah, give me a high five. It's a hand. There's our hand. And then, oh, we worked with one of these on Monday. It's our hanger. Yeah, to hang our clothes. And the last one is a hen. Ooh, so this is a little tricky because the D has a duck and the H has a hen. Two different types of birds. So hen. Awesome. So there we have our two sounds, D and H. Now we're going to mix up our cards and we're going to play our sorting game, which I'm sure you guys are getting super good at because we've done it a lot. Okay, so let me mix it all up. Here we go. Okay. All right, so I have my D and my H. Okay, so first one I'm grabbing, oh, what is this? Do you guys remember? It's the hen. So where does the hen, does it go den? No, it's the hen. Hen. Okay. Oh, look what I grabbed now. Is it the huck? No, it's the duck. Duck. Okay. Ooh, what's this a picture of? Hand. That's right. Hand. We'll put it down there. Hand. Okay. What do I have now? It's the dog. Dog. Okay. Honey. Does it go here? You're right. It goes here with the hen and the hand. It's the honey. And now I have the, oh, so cute. What's that? It's the doll. That's right. So I'm going to go here with doll. And I have, oh, I'm sure we would all like to play one of those. It's a drum. Drum. Okay, with my D sound. And my last sound, oh, I think it's going to be, it's the hanger. Hanger. And that belongs here with the H. So I have my D's and my H. Okay, so now we're just going to play a quick game. Knock. Okay. Where should I knock? Okay, I'm going to knock here. Hello, who's there? Oh, are you guys ready to tell me? Who's there? Yeah. For hand. Awesome. Okay, knock. Who's there? What sound is there? Yeah. D for dog. Awesome. Good. So those are our sounds for today. And tomorrow we'll look at the sounds that we did for this week. So we did some sounds yesterday, and we'll do those 4 sounds tomorrow. We'll look at them all. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our math. And we did this beautiful activity behind me yesterday. And I kind of see my numbers there, so I hope you've had fun doing that. Building the pink tower and coloring the pink tower and numbering the pink tower. And of course, it's not exactly the same as being in class, but it's really fun to still work with and to practice. And now we're going to start matching our number cards that we've used a lot before to our colored beads that we're going to color on paper or print and match them together. So I think I have a, okay, so I'm going to send, this is sort of what's going to come home, which is like the colored bead stair, which we use in class. So it's not real beads, but it's the colored, it's the idea that you can color the beads, and we'll go over which colors are which, okay? So for today, oh, sorry, I do have a colored one. Here it is, the colored one. There it is. Okay, so it shows you which number is which color and how many beads go with that color and that number, okay? So today we're just going to take out our cards. I want you to take your number cards and I want you to find numbers 1. Where is my 1? Oh, 1. And I want you to find, oh, not 0. Stay in there, silly, 0. Number 2. And number 3. Okay, so we have 1, 2, and 3. And then what I've done is I took my bead stair, my blank one, my plain one, and I colored 1, 2, and 3, and then I cut it out. So what I'm sending you, you can cut out as many as you want, you can print as many as you want, you can also just color circles, okay? So I'm gonna make a little teeny tiny bead stair here with my 1, 2, and 3 beads. Can you see it? Okay, so I'm gonna pick up this one here, and it just has 1 red bead, just like the beads in class, 1 red bead. So do you think I should match it to 3? No. Should I match it to 2? It's just 1 red bead. Oh yeah, I should match it with 1 because 1 and 1. Awesome. Okay, now I'm gonna pick up my 2 green beads. 1, 2. 2 green beads. And I'm gonna match it to 3? No. Yeah, I'm gonna match it to 2. 1, 2. 2 beads match with number 2. And then I have my number 3 beads. 1, 2, 3 that I've colored in pink. And I have only one thing left to match, which is my number 3. And hey, that makes a lot of sense because I have 1, 2, 3, and I have number 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix these up, put them to the side. Okay, and I'm going to pull one out and I'm going to match it to my numbers. So this is a good game you can do at home to practice matching to your numbers. So let me see. Okay, oh, what did I choose? I chose number 1, 2. Yeah, so I'm going to match it to 2. Okay, what am I going to choose? Oh, what did I choose? I chose 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to match it to number 3. And then my last one is just the single 1 red bead, and I'm going to match it to 1. Okay, so also I'm counting and holding up, but you can count down in your table 1, 2, 3 and match it. Okay, so that'll be a little bit easier. Good stuff. All right, now this week, because we are doing frogs and there is an excellent frog song that exists, this is what we are making. Look at this. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to take my frog that I was using for French. And I have here 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 speckled frogs. And this egg carton I'm using as my speckled log. And we're going to sing this song. I also, I'm just going to show you. Also, you could use toilet paper rolls and cut holes in the top. I found that they stood up stronger and better in here, but you could use this and you could glue 2 together or tape 2 together and use those as your log as well. Okay, so if you guys are ready to sing with me, I hope you are. And the song goes like this. 5 little speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. 1 jumped into the pool. where it was nice and cool. Then there were 4 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 4 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there was 3 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 3 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there was 2 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. 2 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there was 1 green speckled frog. Glub, glub. 1 green and speckled frog sat on a speckled log, eating the most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. He jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there was no green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. There we go. So they all jumped in, and I hope you play this game at home. Now they're all going to jump back up and have as much fun as I did with our logs. And if you would like, I would like you to try to make this tonight. So if you don't have a printer to print, you could just make some frogs. You could cut some out of paper, or you could color some frogs. And then if you don't have popsicle sticks, you can just use cardboard or even different parts of the carton that's strong, and or even the toilet paper roll paper is really strong. And yeah, you can hopefully have a carton. If not, you could use the rolls. So whatever way you want to make it, and then tomorrow we'll sing it together again. Okay, awesome. And the last thing for today is for practical life. We're going to do a little pouring exercise. So we've done hanging this week, and we've done hanging, and we did folding. We did folding a shirt. So I'm just going to unfold my placemat, and all I have brought for today is a little creamer, a little jar that we use for cream if we're having cream or milk, or maybe it's a milk jar, I don't know. But for coffee, so it's just a little pouring size that's sort of made for adults to use, but children can use it too because it's a nice size. It's not too big, it's not too heavy. And I already put some water inside, so I don't know if you can see. And a lot of you have had this lesson in class, but we're just going to practice pouring into a little cup or a little dish, okay? And just trying to get no spills. And so I'm going to show you how we pour. So when we pour, we put our hand in the handle, and we use our other hand underneath to help support our pour. So if this jug is really heavy, with like a bigger jug, there's more water in it, it's nice to have your hand to help support and guide your pour into your cup, okay? So I'm going to use just 2 fingers because it's pretty small for me, but maybe on your little jug, you'll want to use your whole hand to help you pour. And I'm going to pour into my cup. There we go. So I just put a little bit of water inside my jug to pour, and now my cup is full. And see, at the end, I had to even tilt my jug further up and support it some more so that the last bits of water would get into my cup. And here I didn't have any drips drip down, but if I did, I could take a little cloth or a little sponge and wipe them up. And there I've poured my water into my cup, and it didn't flow over because I made sure beforehand. But also a good thing to do is when you're pouring is to look inside your cup to make sure that you're not going to pour over the top. Okay, so I hope you have fun doing those activities and pouring, and with your frogs and your life cycle and your sounds and your numbers. Oh my, so much to do. So we'll say goodbye with our hearts. Bye, my friends. Have a good day. And we'll say bye to all my friends under a rainbow. We'll see you soon. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.